A word of caution for people using dating apps like Tinder. Don't fall for these Tinder scams. Every year we hear about something tragic that happens that takes place because of Tinder, but I don't think people know about the insane amount of Tinder scams that happen on a daily basis. Okay, so Tinder is filled with scam fishes. When the app was first introduced, they used to have a lot of problems with fake accounts, promoting campsites, and catfishing. Even though they've cracked down on a lot of issues, Tinder scams have gotten worse. People are losing hundreds of thousands on blackmail and extortion scams, hostage scams, cryptocurrency scams, and I want to go through some of these today.
Ladies of NYC, be there. This man is out here on Tinder and Hinge, and he will steal from you.
Hello everyone, welcome back to The Asher Show, a show where I like to keep my beloved viewers informed and safe from online swindlers. Today we're talking about the dating app Tinder. I've used apps like Hinge, Bumble, but Tinder is probably the most well-known, and it has over 75 million concurrent users as of 2021, so it goes without saying it's the most popular, and it's also the most popular for people to get scammed. Okay, so the top 5 persuasive scams on Tinder are catfishing, malware, blackmail, code verification, and bots. But I want to go through some recent stories of people that got scammed, robbed, and blackmailed. So let's spin the wheel here and let's see exactly where it lands. Okay, let's start with crypto. A lot of the extortion and blackmail Tinder scams happen to younger men, but this is the story that I want to start with that happened to a woman in Australia. How a bank worker looking for love was conned of her life savings in Tinder scam known as pig butchering. So pig butchering is a financial crime that I think it started in China, but now it's getting popular all over the world, and especially in Australia. The pig butchering scam resembles the practice of fattening a hog before slaughter. Victims invest in supposedly legitimate virtual currency investment opportunities before they are conned out of their money. Pretty self-explanatory. This happened to this woman here in Australia. She got scammed out of $300,000. So they don't name her by name in the article. They call her Sarah. So Sarah meets a guy online, falls in love. Pretty quickly, in fact. After a day of chatting on Tinder, John moved their chat to WhatsApp messaging service where he appeared to have an Australian phone number. So John tells Sarah that he closed his Tinder profile because she's the one for him. Then he starts talking about his side hustle, how he's into cryptocurrency and how much money he's been making. Gets her to sign up with an account with an Australian cryptocurrency exchange called CoinSpot, and then introduced her to MEXC cryptocurrency platform. MEXC is a real site, but the site that he takes her to is a fake version of this site. He gets her to sign up, make a wallet, and she starts transferring money into the account. $10,000 at first, $20,000. The fake site apparently even had its own customer service department which she talked to and which furthered the swindle by giving her a deposit address. She was told to put $40,000 more in there for a security deposit. Whenever she went onto the site, it looked like she was making money because John was also putting his money in there. The man she thought she loved made it appear as if he was putting extra funds into her account to help increase her profits. And then one day, John just disappears. They found that John's WhatsApp number had been disconnected and the man with the husky photo has been taken off the internet. Ultimately, she ended up losing $300,000. This is worse than the Tinder swindle documentary. And it sounds outrageous, but it happens more often than you'd think. 4 months ago, someone said they fell for the same scam. A guy said he was down and desperate for a relationship. He ended up matching with somebody online. She started telling him about cryptocurrency. He started putting his money into this cryptocurrency site. He ended up losing $21,000. And you know what both of these people had in common? Both of the people found these people on Tinder and they told them, let's move this to WhatsApp. If you ever meet somebody online and they say, hey, let's move this to WhatsApp, just know that you're probably being scammed. It's a red flag. Because you can make an account easily, you can use a fake phone number, you can use a fake account, and then you can just disappear at will. Okay, now let's talk about some of the blackmail scams that I've been recently seeing, and this is it's a little scary. It's been happening for a few years actually, where Tinder matches try to get explicit photos from you, maybe some nudes, and then they threaten to share those photos with your friends and family and perhaps tell the police. It happens so often that now there's a website. The FBI website has a sextortion section. The FBI has seen a huge increase in number of cases involving children and teens being threatened and coerced into sending explicit images online. I saw some situations where this was happening in Vancouver. Someone threatened a 25-year-old to send them money unless they were going to share their nudes. But 6 months ago, somebody shared a story on the subreddit r/scams, and this person was trying to scam an 18-year-old. 12 days ago, I turned 18 and decided to download Tinder. I started talking with a girl. She ended up asking for explicit pictures, which I agreed to. You're 18, you're on Tinder, very unsuspecting. This girl ended up doing was taking the pictures, threatening to send the pictures to his friends on Instagram, as well as saying that she was going to report him to the police because she's underage. This is like a straight up EDP 445 sting operation. Tinder does a lot of things before you can even make an account. They check your age, they check your ID. So for someone who's underage to even make an account, it's probably not impossible, but it's more likely that it's like an adult in somewhere like India that's trying to scam this poor 18-year-old. In this case, it was for $450. Here's another one, and this person was being scammed out of $650 via Venmo. Incredibly embarrassing, I received and then reciprocated nudes with a Tinder match only for her to tell me later that day that she was underage. A man claiming to be her father then texted demanding an explanation. I proceeded to call him after some scolding and explaining the circumstances. He said he would talk it over with his wife and call back. Later said that if he had covered 65% of his wife's Surface Pro that was broken in the fight over it, that they would just put it behind them. Someone is sending your child
nude phone,
and you're like, you know what, just cover the price of my Surface Pro and we'll call it even. And he agreed. But if you think that's scary, let me introduce you to something that I'm calling the hostage scam. It isn't talked about much, but just listen to this situation that happened in Dubai. Got scammed for $45,000 on Tinder. This is a very long story, so I'm gonna paraphrase it for you. So a guy meets a girl on Tinder, they match, they decide to make a date, and first he is giving her some places because she's not from here, she's from Benghazi. So he's suggesting some places they should go to, but she's insisting that they go somewhere in the mall. They exchange phone numbers and she unmatches with him on Tinder. I think this is so she can't get reported. So they agree to go to the mall, but then he calls her up to see where she is, and she's like, I'm at a different mall. Changing the location. So they go to this pub at this different mall. She shows up, she looks fantastic. So he's thinking, you know, this isn't a red flag. She looks better than her photos. But the pub that they're at, it's terrible, it's gross. The people that are working there aren't helping them out. There's smoke everywhere. And the girl keeps ordering a bunch of things. And this is what she orders: 8 glasses of red wine, which he thinks is just cranberry juice. He orders a beer, and they were also burning some NR firecrackers indoors. He thinks it's going to be around 7K, but it ends up being 45K. Oh, the 45K is in rupees. So I think 45K, $700. He tries to talk to the people that are working there. They don't want to hear it. He tries to split the bill with his date. She doesn't want to pay anything. She says that she's a victim and she wants to get out of there. She leaves. The owners of this place won't let him leave unless he pays his bill. But basically, they held him captive until he paid this bill that, for what, 3 drinks? Oh, he wrote the name of the place, so you should beware. It's Dark Wine Dubai Mall. Okay. Apparently, this thing happens a lot. Because if you go onto the Dubai shopping mall, check the reviews. 2 months ago, there's a club DW on the 4th floor who hire girls. First, random girls on Tinder will ask you to meet them there. They charged me 35,000 rupees for nothing. All bouncers surrounded me and forced me to pay the bill. Owner is a girl, so you can't really do anything, otherwise they threatened you for the police chase. I have proof of the payment. Also have the picture of the girl who took me there. Oh my goodness. This type of thing happens in Brazil also. So much so that people in Brazil are afraid to use dating apps. Crypto scams, blackmail scams, even hostage situations, all stemming from Tinder and other dating apps.
Ladies of NYC, be fucking aware. This man is out here on Tinder and Hinge, and he will steal from you.
I have one final story. This story is something that I actually found on TikTok. This is the entire reason I decided to look into Tinder scams.
Story about how that fucker stole my Mary Jane tabbies that my father bought for me as a birthday gift.
This is a story about a woman named Lex who lives in New York, went on a first date and ended up losing her $1,200 shoes to this Tinder date. So she matches with a guy named Josh. They go on a first date, they go out for drinks. She doesn't think anything is going to happen between them romantically, but she says maybe he might be a good fling. So he's really persistent. They ended up going out again and they sleep with each other back at her place. So the next morning he talks about a music playlist that he wants to show her. So he's like, hey, give me your phone. I don't have Spotify on my phone. Goes through her phone, can't find the Spotify playlist, but that's fine. He leaves. And I'm going to let her explain from here.
I have tabby boots up there. We were talking about the tabby boots and he was like referencing those. He barely glanced at the Mary Janes, okay? I look over there and they're gone. And I'm like, where are my tabbies? So I look like high and low, look under my bed, look in my suitcase, look in my closet, can't find them anywhere. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm not going to be accusatory. I'm just going to see if he knows where I put them. I go to Tinder to message him, unmatched, gone. I'm like, oh no, this bitch stole my fucking shoes. So I go, it's fine. We talked on the phone. I'm just going to go to my call log and find his number. I go to the call log and he literally deleted the history of the call. So I can't find his number. And I'm like, so when you were on Spotify, you were actually deleting your phone number from my phone.
$1,100? Come on.
More of the story is don't fuck with this fucker named Joshua on Tinder. He's a dickhead. And if you know who he is, where he lives, or anything about him, fucking let me know, because I deserve retribution and I want my fucking shoes back.
And retribution she got. People started messaging her, sending her DMs, saying that they know who this person is. So she goes onto one of his social media profiles and realizes that he has a girlfriend. And the girlfriend in one of the pictures is wearing her shoes. So she messages him.
He didn't steal them and he doesn't know how it happened and what happened. And he's like, that's just out of my character. I would never do that. And like, I started feeling crazy because I'm like, this man is a psychopath. He was trying to convince me that he didn't steal it. And I'm like, then tell me what happened. The plot thickens, find out he has a girlfriend and that he gave my tabbies to his girlfriend. I send him a screenshot of his girlfriend wearing my tabbies. And he's like, and hours later at 3 a.m., I get a text message and he's like, you caught me. I'll give you back your shoes. Can you take down the video? So this is him, again, gaslighting me, being like, I didn't do anything. Then I send him this. And then hours later, he's like, got me. That's his girlfriend wearing my shoes, by the way. And like, he thinks this shit is a fucking joke. This is another message he sent to me after. He was literally smiling like the whole fucking time.
I thought I would end with more of a light-hearted story than the other scams that I talked about earlier, because she got her shoes back.
More of the story is don't fuck with this fucker.
I just thought there wasn't enough people talking about this, and I decided to spread the good word like the good disciple that I am. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment down